talk about this is part 2, but yeah, like, so it's like, even if they were trying to say I'm like some sort of bad guy, possibly as a terrorist threat, even though I'm obviously a jokester or whatever, and DeSantis is like using some of my shit that I've said, and Trump is too, and the reason why Trump really won that easily, and we all know it's all orchestrated somewhat, because I had said the same shit, which is that, like, you know, there's gonna be fucking, you know, like a red tide or whatever, and like they're not gonna win in almost any states aside from like the main ones like New York, and to do that. And I had said to do that if, like, to prove that it's like all orchestrated on some level. But it could have just been the Republicans fucking, you know, fixing stuff. Like, somebody said that Elon was using his SpaceX to like intercept votes or some shit. You know, and then they only won by small margins with the vote-wise, which is what I said to do, and to get them back for what they did in their, you know, botched election. That they, you know, were fucking up Trump, and then, you know, make it to where nobody knows what really happened and shit. You know what I mean? And then we'll go, and I had said too, we'll go back and forth. Like, next time we'll do like some sort of Democrat, and then next time we'll do some Republican or whatever. You know what I mean? And, you know, it's just like, until we get it right as a country on what we want to do, you know, and, you know, but I'm just saying, though, is that, like, it looks bad because I feel like it's all rigged, you know, and it has kind of been, you know, back and forth lately, you know, somewhat, or it's been rigged a lot lately, like, in human history, I feel like. So I don't even know, like, when it's rigged or when it's, you know, you got to kind of figure it out and follow it. But yeah, I mean, I think it's more so having to do with, like, who's going to help the government, you know what I mean, the most. So, you know, usually I think that's what, yeah. You know, with Obama actually did like some shit to stop terrorists and stuff, but so did Trump, though. You know, and so did like other Republicans and Democrats. It's hard to say, man. You know, like, I have to like research all these other presidents to see like what's been for sure happening. Like, you know, if it's just like people end up, you know, manipulating stuff like from groups of each, you know. But yeah, man, I'm trying to yeah, I don't think that they're gonna do much. I think the most that they're gonna try to do is based off of like something that I said, you know, with like my girl, you know, the time I went to the courthouse and shit when I was pushing it. You know, they'll probably try to like give me a TK, whatever, you know what I mean, just in case, you know, but to let me cool off and fucking, you know, that kind of thing. And even though they were trying to, you know, because I'd said like, you know, if I, you know, you don't really know if I'm a Terry or not, and whether or not, you know, I end up doing something, you know what I mean, you gotta sit there and show me that you would track me or something like that. I was saying some wild shit. But I also have been doing good and like leaving it go and whatever. So, but yeah. Probably what they're gonna try to do is like slap me in the head and like yeah, like they'll probably like do the whole thing I said where like they're gonna try to make me look crazy, and then I accidentally dropped a piece or two of it in there, but then that would only be so long as I don't expose that it won't actually do anything. But I already did with Rex, because I didn't do anything to Rex, but they went into my house and did that shit, so it's already shown that it doesn't do anything, even like the worst one that I had used and stuff, and like all this shit, you know. So like, it obviously, like, they're not gonna try to sue me, you know what I mean, but they're gonna try to act like they didn't know all this stuff and then slap me in the head, you know, like basically like somewhat, even though everybody does know, you know what I mean, or some shit. And then yeah, it's just gonna be some funky shit. But probably for the me shit talking though, like too, like about my ex and whatever, they'll probably end up fucking, you know, just trying to like slap me in the head with like a temporary restraining order, you know, just to kind of cool things off or something and see how I am later or whatever, if I even talk about her or some shit. Because they're always in my phone now, and I know that they're hearing me right now, these fucking angles. Oh my god. But no, I mean, you know, the thing about me is like with the dogs, man, it's like I'm trying to really decide exactly how I feel somewhat about stuff, you know, too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, am I trying to be like everyone, you know, is gonna die and like trying to be like that? You know what I mean? Like the dogs, you know, stuff happens, you know what I mean? Or is it like I'm really trying, like I really do want to like avenge them for the shit that like my neighbors are doing and other people have been doing to me, whatever. But I also understand too is that like Linus was old, you know, at some point, you know, he would have died, you know, I wouldn't want to put him down, I won't want to put Lucy down, you know, but at the same time, it's like a money thing too, and it's like a resource thing, you know, to the point where it's like, if I make better dogs and I can do better with it, you know, then I'm going to look at it like, okay, well, it's like a resource thing. Like, I wouldn't be able to house all them, and it's okay then in that regard that it made it this far, you know what I mean? And everything's going fine with, like, my other ones that are better. You know, I don't really know if Linus would be better, but I'm going to try to make one that's better. I think if I make one that's better than Linus, I'll be happy, and I'll be, like, okay enough, and I'll be able to leave it alone with what happened to Lucy and Linus and use it as learning on some level and dealing with that shit, you know, and the pains of it, you know, because I've been feeling those types of pains, so I know what to stay away from and, you know, what it's going to be like in the future if I lose one from someone or whatever. But I also, you know, will stay more confident because I know that there's a chance that it could be made in the pit bull breed or whatever breed that I make, you know, something better. So that's what I'm looking forward to, is in a way, you know, it's like a resource thing. You can't have that many dogs, you know, and yeah, and it's like it worked out in a way because I ended up having the right line that I want and having some really good dogs, and, you know, the lines of pit bulls are still going to live on, you know, so but I do want it to still obviously be a part of it, so